Hi all, welcome to the next video of Ljrf voice. In today's session, I would be handling how uh, sociological theories help us in understanding the causal factors of crime. In the previous videos of mine, I have spoken about how learning theories has helped us in explaining the causal factors of crime. Today, we will be looking to the sociological theories. When you Google sociological theories or when you refer papers related to sociological theories, there are a lot of authors, a lot of concepts that have been put across in the web. But mainly today we'll be focusing on only three aspects, that is social structure, social process, and social control. How these three things or how changes in these three aspects leads to crime or can help us in explaining the causal factors of crime. So the first one is social structure, wherein we look into anomie theory. I guess most of you all would have come across this terminology of anomie somewhere when you're reading any papers related to sociological theories or in general about law. Anomie basically means a state of normlessness. We all know that every society has norms, rules, and regulations that needs to be followed by most of the people in order to be considered as a normal person. So when a state has no rules or regulations, or when there is a lot of chaos happening, that moral confusion or that concept as such would be termed as anomie. Durkheim is the one who propagated this anomie theory, and according to this theory, he tries to explain why some people engage in deviant behavior like crime. It mostly arises because there is a disjunction or confusion between the societal goals and the legitimate means to achieve them. We all know there are set of societal goals that everyone expects us to do. Expects us to do, but then not everyone is able to achieve that through a legitimate mean. So that leads to a concept of normlessness or a conflict that happens between these two expected goals as well as the ways to achieve that through a legitimate mean. This results in the concept of anomie. As per Durkheim, anomie is a result of rapid social change and the weakening of the traditional institutions. So, in his theory, he's tried to say that some members of the society are more likely to challenge and reject shared values and norms of behavior, uh, basically normlessness, which results in crime and deviance. So, according to this theory, there are mainly two tenets that would help us in explaining what anomie theory is. Basically, people conform to societal norms in order to gain rewards or avoid punishment. So we all know that when a society has put forward certain rules and regulations, when you follow that, you gain rewards and you won't be punished for that, right? But when there is a discrepancy in how to achieve that goal or in what means can be used to achieve that goals, it results in the concept of anomie, which motivates deviance. So in order to achieve the societal goals, people might use illegitimate means, uh, for example committing murder or trying to make money through drugs, all of these things in order to attain that societal goal. So these are the main two aspects that is in anomie theory. One is that most of them follow societal norms in order to gain rewards and avoid punishment. Second is when there is a discrepancy in the goals they have to achieve and the means they have to do, there becomes a state of anomie or normlessness which motivates deviance. The next is strain theory. Strain theory was formulated by Robert K. Merton. According to him, people experience intense pressure to achieve the societal goal or success, but they do not have the means which then puts strain on them. Hence the name strain theory. So basically, as I mentioned in Durkheim's theory also, there are certain goals that we want to achieve, or success that we want to achieve, but we are not able to do that through legitimate means, or sometimes people do not have the means at all to achieve those societal goals. So there becomes a gap between the middle class goals of society and the chances that people have to achieve them. This is when crime can happen, because obviously people will try to achieve success through criminal behavior. So he has given certain postulates of strain theory, and the first one is called as conformity. Conformity or conformists are people who continue to accept the goal of economic success and also value the value of working at a job to achieve success. So basically, there is no gap between the cultural goal they want to accept as well as the chance of achieving that success. So they do not have any normlessness, or they do not have any confusion as such. They are able to achieve whatever goal they want to achieve by working properly and attaining those goals through success. That is the concept of conformity. So these people might not end up committing crime. The second one is innovation. Innovation is wherein they do not have any access to the conventional ways of achieving success. Conventional ways could be probably you have been taught from your childhood that if you have to reach a particular position, you will have to work hard, you will have to study hard, get into a job, and then you would achieve success, right? But then they are not able to achieve any of those any of success through those conventional ways because they do not have access to it. This would be mostly applicable to the lower social classes in the societies. In order to achieve success, if they need education, if they need job, they are not able to get it because they do not have probably the economic sources to get education, or they are not having complete education wherein they can get a proper job, right? So since they do not have money for education, or they do not have proper strategies to achieve wealth or success, they fall into illegitimate means, for example theft, or gaining money out of possession, basically trying to survive on a day-to-day basis through illegitimate means. That is called as innovation. The third is ritualism. Ritualists are people who have given up on the goals of society, but they still stick to the conventional ways to achieve the goals. Say, for example, there are many people whom you might know personally or whom we have seen who are stuck in dead end jobs. Basically, they are not interested in that job, but they are doing that in order to survive. Sometimes, in order to survive, they may not be able to get any proper salary, they may not be able to pay the bills, they're not getting promoted, or they may even realize that they will never uh, achieve something called a success in their life. But in order so that the society accepts them, they still stick on to that job, and they would have been totally given up on their dream job. Say, for example, we can take some IT professionals who might have wanted to become an IAS officer or an IPS officer, but because of lack of opportunities or because of any other certain reasons, they were not able to fulfill that particular thing. So that dream they have lost, but they're continuing their IT sector just in order to survive, in order to pay their daily bills, get food, clothing, shelter, etc. Okay, so ritualists are people who have abandoned or who have lost upon their dreams, but they are working anyway because work has become a habit for them. The next is retreatism. Retreats or retreatists have abandoned both the cultural goal as well as the conventional means to achieve it. Merton basically describes these people as psychotics, or um, trams, or chronic drug addicts, or drunkards who have withdrawn from the society. They do not want to achieve any societal goals, nor would they try any jobs or any methods to achieve that success. So they've rejected both the success as well as the um, path to achieve that success. So they have been totally withdrawn from the society, either by turning to drugs or becoming drunkards. The last is the concept of rebellion. Basically, rebels, they have rejected the cultural goals and the means to achieve the goals, but they have instead replaced it with something else. Okay, probably the best example would be terrorist. Okay, they have rejected the normal society's economic success or the ways to achieve that, and they have replaced it with their own forms of success or their own rules and regulations which they are trying to achieve. So basically they're trying to bring about a new society with new values and new economic system. Now, this is what is Merton's theory. It has been very influential for years, but eventually it has lost popularity because certain crimes such as rape, assault, or any economic motivated crimes, they were not being able to explain. Those type of crimes could not be explained through these categories. Okay, and not many of them get into drugs or alcohol as mentioned in the retreatism, but they get in even though they are having a proper economic success or economic gains. They might tend to turn out to be drug addicts or alcohols. So certain of those crimes cannot be those crimes motives cannot be categorized into these forms or these aspects which has been mentioned in the strain theory.